Each and every Monday is $9 Monday at both WagerTalk.com and SportsMemo.com. When all daily picks packages are priced at only $9, including 5% best bets, normally priced at $35. As an added bonus, any picks packages loaded early for overnight Tuesday or action during the week will also be priced at $9 until midnight on Monday. So make sure to take advantage of getting these $25 and $35 picks for only $9 before the clock strikes 12 and they return to regular price.
Low total of 7. Are you liking anything Braves Giants late night?
So when I look at this game, obviously I'm not going to lay that much on the road. I don't usually do that. And as we've talked about in the show, my Giants thing, I don't know if anybody else has a team that they just don't do very well handicapping. The Giants are that team for me. When I look at the K-prop here, 7.5 for Spencer Strider, I think it's interesting because obviously Strider has these great games where he strikes out a ton of guys, and he has these other games where he doesn't strike out a lot of guys. And the Giants are all over the place when it comes to that sort of thing. If you look at the last bunch of right-handers to go against them, 4-3-14, which was Corbin Burns, 3-2-11, which was Joe Musgrove, 3-2-4. That's a lot of all over the place. So I thought that was interesting with regards to Strider here, that it is so high. He strikes out a lot of guys, but the Giants don't have this consistency as to whether you always bet the under or you always bet the over. Tough game. So I really ended up passing here on anything involving this contest.
Okay, and Tony, coming to you next, Strider, a high strikeout guy. I mean, per batted faced, he's up there with the tops in baseball. He's got good stuff. I mean, the Braves, you're having to pay for it, though, in some sense here. Minus 180 favorites on the road. Are you liking anything in San Francisco tonight, Tony?
Well, I will say this. It's hard not to like Strider. He's done a really good job with his command. Young pitchers typically have issues with their command. He's been more than satisfactory in that area. In fact, sometimes he's been better than he's been bad with his command. All pitchers, young, old, veterans alike, have issues with command from time to time. We don't know the umpires here. You guys talked about Ks. 7.5 Ks seems like a reasonable amount. San Francisco against right-handers, I think San Francisco is a little better against right-handers than left-handers. That separation of that dichotomy is not huge. However, Cobb, if he's pitching from behind, I compare him to a couple of guys who, when they pitch from behind, they struggle. I like Cobb. Cobb's had good stuff. He came in to the scene for San Francisco a little bit late this year. He's had his 15-minute moments. He's had his times when he hasn't been very good either. But if you're not left-handed and you're facing Atlanta, then I'm going to give you a shot. In this case, I'm not in this room, Drew, and I'm not for several reasons. If I was, much like Mid-Major Matt said, priced a little steep to be laying in a single play, I probably would be on the money line or on the run line in this case.
Tony Finn, not in the room in San Francisco.
Yeah,
okay.
On Strider, yeah.
But you're not in the room in San Francisco. We'll see if you're in the room in Cleveland. That's our next game up, Tony. See if Tijuana Tony here is liking anything in Cleveland. 6:10 happy hour special here, Tony. Angels at Guardians. Detmers versus Pilkington, I believe is how you pronounce it here.
That's
Two
correct.
lefties going at it here. Minus 115. That's Cleveland at home. 7 in the hook being the total. You liking the Halos tonight, Tony?
No. Well, I have Mid-Major Matt kind of brought up the fact that he kind of has issues with the Giants. Well, I don't have issues in particular with a team in general or at large, but they've been a pain in my butt. The Angels have been the last couple of weeks. They've beaten me up. So that's it. You got a healthy much more healthy, saved Rendon at the top of the order. At least the Angels are a little healthier now with Trout, in the meat of the order, hitting second or third, depending on the night and pitcher. But Detmers is a guy who's gonna, he's so up and down, so inconsistent, so difficult to put your arms around sometimes. I'm definitely not on the Angels. However, I would probably look hard and heavy at Pilkington in the K department, which I know is a specialty of Major Maths. And I haven't looked at that yet, but I will closer we get to it, because this Angels team, they have a high propensity to enjoy striking out, swinging the bat, and missing. So that would be where I would be. Cleveland fighting for first place, and we got the Angels who are just fighting to finish the season. So we'll see where we're at.
All right. Well, Matt, we get Cleveland, fighting for playoffs here, and the Angels just fighting. However, Detmers, he is off of extra rest, and his last 9 starts since being recalled from AAA has actually been pretty good. His ERA, near 2.50, so throwing the ball well, the Angels starter. Plus, Tony touched on Mike Trout and Ohtani healthy in the middle of that lineup. This team's different with those two in the middle of the lineup, man. What are you thinking in Cleveland tonight?
Yeah, it's interesting because you got two teams who are completely different when it comes to the strikeouts. The Angels are 79 to the over, 51 to the under, and the Guardians, I was about to say the Indians, 47 to the over, 81 to the under. So two different kind of extremes here. And when Tony brings up Pilkington, it's ironic. The Angels have actually gone under in 6 straight starts, in 6 straight games. Now, granted, look, their numbers are a little bit higher because they do strike out a lot. But Pilkington is a guy that's, got strikeout potential. The number's 4.5. The Angels are averaging 5.7 strikeouts against left-hand starting pitchers so far this season. And Detmers is a guy that's interesting because, as you brought up, Drew, ever since he came back from the minors, he's striking out more guys, and he seems to be a little bit more polished. Still has his bad starts here and there. I actually would give a slight lean to the Angels here, especially in the first 5. I want nothing to do with the Angels bullpen. Indians have the advantage there. Guardians have the advantage there. I would lean to the Angels first 5 here, maybe the half run line here. As you said, they have the better lineup, and Detmers is an intriguing pitcher ever since coming off of being in the minors.
It's okay, Matt. You saying the wrong team name. It still doesn't come off to me, man. It's been, at least a year now, and Guardians, it just doesn't sound right, does it, Matt?
No, it doesn't sound right, and it's something you kind of have to get used to, and I'm sure we'll like it. It's funny. It's kind of like when the Washington changed to the football team. I hated it at first, and then I actually liked it, and now I have to get used to saying the Commanders or the Commies. So, the name change, you have to get used to that sort of thing.
Yeah, I've said football team with the Washington football team pretty much all season, and nobody corrects me. So I feel like if we just do it incorrectly, maybe they'll go back. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Football, NFL. Paco saying MLB a little bit easier than the NFL to find some winners. So, hey, guys, let's find some winners north of the border with the next game here. Matt, coming to you first. Rays and Blue Jays. We get Barrios getting his start pushed back here. He was supposed to go yesterday, but Toronto realizing this is a very important series for the AL wildcard, possibly for the AL East here. -150 now. That is the Blue Jays at home, 8.5 the total. You liking anything north of the border here, Matt?
So I'm digging a little bit into Cooper Criswell because I feel like, look, I want to play the Rays in this game. I'm not a Barrios guy. I never really have been a Barrios guy. He is home, so he is a little bit better at home. But I wanted to find what Cooper Criswell's stuff is like and what he's kind of we're going to bring to the table here. And the one thing I'll say is he's gone up 3 levels already. Now, granted, he spent 1 start in AA, but he was in Rookie League, did pretty well, went to AA, had 1 start, did not pitch well. And then now he's in the AAA where he's only had 8 outings, 3 starts. The one thing I see here, he's not going to walk a lot of guys. Only 9 walks in 45 1/3 innings. Although, of course, we always talk about that sort of thing, and then he comes up and walks the first 3 guys, and you throw that scouting report out the window. But to me, if you like the Rays here, you're potentially looking at the full game. I like the Rays bullpen, obviously, a little bit more than the Blue Jays here. I don't like the Rays offense. If you want to back Criswell, you're looking at a 5-inning sort of thing because I can't see him going past 4 or 5. There is no K-prop for him, unfortunately. And Barrios' number with regards to this K-prop is 4.5. And the Rays do strike out a ton, but if you look at what Barrios has done lately, it's almost like he's just going for contact. his K numbers have gone down tremendously as of late. So there's no real value there, even though the Rays have been strikeout prone this season.
Tony, coming to you next.
Yeah.
Criswell, I'm just doing a little research here with Matt talking and what he was drafted in the 13th round out of UNC. And yeah, I'm looking at his numbers. I mean, is he just in the minors for this season? What has he been doing the last couple years? Do you know, Tony? What are your thoughts here in Toronto?
Yeah, first off, anytime this is the one club, and I'm sure that you guys would probably agree, and that is if there's one organization that while I will dig, I won't dig too deeply with, and that's the Tampa Bay team, Tampa Bay organization. When they deal with pitchers, they usually do a very good job. They bring them up at the right times. They bring them up prepared. Their scouting reports are elite, some of the best in the business. And with this kid, Matt brought it up. His command's pretty good. Well, what translates from AA, AAA, single A, summer league, but it's all dependent on the pitcher, really, and how he's prepared. I think you're going to get about, from what I understand and who I've talked to down in the Tampa area, these guys are just these aren't beat writers I'm speaking of, but guys who are professional gamers. They think these numbers will translate. They like the first. They told me this. It's funny. They said we like the first five in this game. We like Tampa in the first five only because Berrios is giving up a ton of hard contact. And in truth, Berrios has been. He's been less than with his ERA, et cetera. If you look at his FIP and those those metrics, let's say, a lot of what's happened with Berrios, especially recently, has been a lot of bad luck. I mean, it's BABIP. Some of the balls have been hit. They've just found holes, but his hard contact's been a little bit more. I would definitely be looking at Strider here, not Strider, but looking at the Tampa Bay team in the first five, just as I was recommended to do, because of what they can do. They're going to make contact too. They're not going to strike out a bunch against right-handers. They're a little better against left-handers, but recently they've just done a lot better job of putting the ball in play, putting pressure on opposing defenses, and putting some pressure on the Yankees too in the standings. I would be on the Tampa side here.
Matt, you brought up a good point. Just in terms of like him getting here quickly. I'm looking at his minor league stats. Something I like to do, guys, is in terms of what translates well with minor league pitchers making it to the show and how they'll do. Did they do well at low A, high A, double A, triple A, and they were consistent, not walking people and getting strikeouts? And I don't know that he has those numbers, Matt. Like looking at it, I mean, he's given up 17 home runs in double and triple A, and that's just in 1 year, really. I don't know what he was doing in 2020, but from UNC in 2019, he only pitched in 21, and then this year in the minors. I don't know that there's enough there to really feel comfortable backing a guy like this. Do you, Matt?
Well, if there was ever an organization to trust, it's Tampa Bay. I mean, it's just,
that's true.
They don't mess around when it comes to this stuff. And there have been, of course, they've missed on prospects. But if the Rays like this kid and they send him up a bunch of levels, I'm going to take notice. Now, look, the Rays offense isn't good enough for me. And I'll just dispute one thing Tony said. The Rays have been an over machine when it comes to right-handed starting pitchers. 53 overs, 34 unders in their K props. They're striking out over 5 times a game. It's just as Berrios is not striking out people. He's looking to make contact here. But yeah, Drew, if there's ever an organization that you kind of want to trust, it's Tampa Bay more than any other.
Good point there, Matt. Rays are also 20-7 since August 13th. They're 9-3 their last 12 games, so they're hot right now, this Tampa Bay team. But they are 47-24 at home. They're a top 5 home team in baseball, and on the road, 5 games under 500. So they have a huge home-road dichotomy. They're also going to be without one of their best bullpen relievers. Brooks Riley is unvaccinated. He did not make the trip. He'll forfeit $193,000 in not playing in these next 5 games. Toronto hot as well, 17-7 their last 24 games, but it is their first game off of a 10-game 3-city road trip, which in my opinion is a fade spot. Guys getting back, acclimated to being home, no off day for travel. One thing pointing towards the Blue Jays, though, they did push Berrios' start back for this important series, so a good one, an important game in Toronto to tonight, the Rays and the Blue Jays. Guys, we got best bets now. Huge shout out to the chat box. Raven Ron joining us, Paco Healy as well, Dog Boy, Lessman, all you guys in the house, Leslie as well. Hopefully the sound issues made their way and we're okay from the start of the show. Leslie saying she couldn't hear, but everybody else saying it's good now. So thanks for joining us. Please smash the like button. Feel free to comment below if you're watching on replay. Matt, I'll throw it over to you, man. What do you got going over at sportsmemo.com? Any final thoughts for the show, and where are you going for best bets?
All right, so I got two props tonight in the Monday Night Football game. It's $9 Monday, so you can certainly take a shot. If you look at the leaderboards on Sports Memo, you can see a lot of consistency the last 30 days, over 60% winners across the sports. So things are going really well. We took a shot on two things today. Obviously, week one for the NFL, the books know as much as we do, and we barely know much. So it's two guesses, but I kind of like what I saw when I looked at the props. And I'll say this also, I didn't play anything tonight officially for the clients or nothing. I'm sitting out this baseball card completely. So the one best bet that I'm giving out is kind of taking a shot here because I like the plus price, and I think there's some trends that go in our side. I'm taking over 1.5 runs for the Detroit Tigers in the first 5 innings. And it's plus 140 on DraftKings. DraftKings is the one that mostly does the first 5 team totals. The Tigers, for as bad as their offense is, have actually been semi-decent against left-handers so far this season. They're going up against Framber Valdez. He's actually given up some early runs in a lot of his last couple starts. The Tigers have gone over this number in like 5 of their last 8 starts against left-handed pitchers. I'm just going to take a shot. It's not something I would go big on. It's mostly a play because of the price. As I said, it was not a client play or anything like that, but I'm going to take a shot. The Tigers score some early runs on Framber Valdez, who is a lefty, and I'm going to go over 1.5 runs for the Detroit Tigers in the first 5 innings at plus 140 on DraftKings. We don't see that price very often.
At Mid-Major Matt on Twitter. Good stuff from him. We got a happy hour special. That's where I'm going for my best bet, guys. 6:10 Eastern, 3:10 Pacific. Angels at Guardians in Cleveland here. Look, Detmers, we talked about it earlier. He's off of extra rest, and in his 9 starts since getting off or getting called up from AAA, he's been pretty good, near a 2.5 ERA. Talk to the prop queen here. She's looking to bet on him in terms of being a sharp side on the Angels. We get the Mike Trout and Ohtani back in the middle of the lineup. This is a different team with those two there, and we're getting a plus price up against Cleveland, who was just on a road trip their first game back. That's usually a fade spot. Trout going for 7 straight games with a home run. He'll only be the 9th player in MLB history to do so. If he's able to go yard tonight, I think he can, man. Maybe a prop play on Mike Trout to hit a home run. Ohtani hot as well. So Angels plus 105 for my best bet on the show. Throw it over to Tony Finn. Check him out, WagerTalk.com. Tijuana Tony by some. Tony, what do you got going on at WagerTalk, and where are you going for best bets? Final thoughts for the show.
I do. I have one game I'm focused on tonight in Major League Baseball. Should I say I'm not in the NFL at all tonight after pretty much a kiss your sister Sunday yesterday. But the one game I am on MLB, you can get it. It's the Dead President's Report. And the complete report will be up in about a half hour, 15 minutes after the show's over. So to the free play, or to my best bet and the complimentary play tonight, I like the Mets. What I don't like about the Mets is laying $2+ on any pitcher, Bassett included, right? But Bassett's been really good since he had a little delay, a little stint on the IL in late June. He's been really, really good. 1 or 2 starts with that weren't quality or had more than 3 earned runs in it. But recently, especially, his velocity's up a tick. His movement, his spin rate up a tick, and he seemed to have gotten stronger since that point in time. And this is a team who he's facing tonight, which is basically the Cubs and Javier Assad. He has faced the Cubs once in his career, guys, one time in his career, back in, I think, 18 or something. And the batters that have faced him or seen him live are Gomes, Reyes, and McKinstry. So they're 1 for 15 in total against him. I like Bassett in what would be basically a proposition play, and that's will Chris Bassett record a win. You can get Bassett to record a win, which means he's going to pitch past the 5th, that the Mets are going to be ahead and they're going to win the game, and he's going to be the pitcher of record, and you can get Bassett at minus 125. When the line right now to play the Cubs, what is it? I don't have it in front of me. I think 250, minus 250. Best bet, Bassett will record a win, minus 125. That number is at DraftKings.
Good stuff from Tony Finn. You see it there. Mets pitcher Chris Bassett to record a win, minus 125. Matt Joseph's Tigers first 5 team total over 1.5 plus 140. Big plus price there. Got a plus price for you as well. Plus 105 on the Angels tonight. So that does it for best bets. Check out Matt Joseph, sportsmemo.com. Tony Finn, WagerTalk.com. It's $9 Monday, guys. All plays, all handicappers, discounted to just $9. Check it out, WagerTalk and sportsmemo.com. For Matt Josephs, Tony Finn, I am Drew Martin. Thanks for tuning in. Please smash that like button. Feel free to comment below, and we'll talk tomorrow. Same time, same place. Come back and join us. Best of luck until then.
Ready to take your favorite WagerTalk handicappers wherever you travel this football season? The WagerTalk TV app is now live for phones, tablets, smart TVs, and streaming platforms. Tune into your favorite shows like WagerTalk Today, Bet On It, and the Opening Line Report. Plus, browse through our extensive library of sports betting tips. Create your personal playlist of betting tip videos to help you prepare for the upcoming season, and set notifications to alert you when new content is added. Download the app for Apple, Android, Amazon, and Roku devices by searching for WagerTalk TV, or scan the QR code on your screen to join the winning conversation today.